My topic will not be even half as interesting as the others. They've spoken about such good stuff. My product actually stinks. We're discussing poo and pee here. So please bear with me, and I apologize to anyone who feels the product is in bad taste for you for today. So before I bore you with how the idea of PeeBuddy occurred, let me just give you a little background into how I have reached wherever and whatever I'm doing today. So I started with events in 2011, born and brought up in Delhi, did my master's from Australia. And when I came back, we were doing some really good events, and we did it for 5 years for Best of Corporates. We worked with Citibank, DLFs, BPCL, Carlsberg of the world. And one fine day, a thought came that, I've had enough, and who wants to work with brands anymore? So I just decided to move on. And my wife was kind enough to open doors, and she's a carpet designer. So the next 3 years, I sold carpets to the hotels across the world. And then again, one fine day, another thought came that, who wants to make money again? So I gave it up, and Rashi continued to take care of the business and home. And while I was thinking what I want to do in one such road trip, the idea of PeeBuddy was born. Do you all have it in your bag? I mean, if you just look at the bag that you've got, you might just get a pack which says freedom to stand in pee. Do we all have it? So my question obviously is for all the ladies, because what PeeBuddy does is it gives you the liberty to stand and urinate in all the dirty toilets. So the power or the choice is in your hands, when you're traveling by rail, road, metro, when you're taking a long-haul flight, when you're taking a road trip. You decide, whether you want to use PeeBuddy or not, but then the choice now is in your hands to not wipe the seat or squat or make chairs. So how many ladies here feel that toilets in India really need an overhauling, and when it comes to public toilets? And how many of you had heard about PeeBuddy before coming here? Okay, that's still an audience. Thank you. So when I started, the journey wasn't as easy. This idea, we're not the first ones, by the way, to make the category. The first patent of female urination device goes way back to 1919. But certainly, I think we were amongst the first to realize that it's about the time that we introduce it in India. And as we went ahead, this is sometime early in 2014, we realized that the potential is large. The issue is even larger. And this is, a small, stat on Delhi alone, that there are about 269 toilets, public toilets for women in Delhi, and while there are about 3,712 toilets for men, and obviously every second boundary tree is available to us. But for women, the toilets which are there are also not clean and also not as well maintained. So we went even further. We thought, is the potential only limited to Delhi, or it's a national problem? So we further did some research, and about 5 lakh odd females take the Delhi metro, 20 lakh take Bombay trains every day. 1.1 crore females flew out of the Delhi airport last year, and about 4 odd lakh females visited the Pragati Maidan Trade Fair last year. So we realized that there are a lot of women today who are traveling out, who are sitting out, but when they are on the move, the state of public toilets, this includes the petrol pumps, cafeterias, is not as well maintained. So then came the idea of PeeBuddy on a road trip when 4 of us friends were traveling from Delhi to Jaipur, and a friend's wife suggested that she had seen a plastic device somewhere in Europe, using which women could stand and pee. And this is the same trip where we had to stop at about 10 petrol pumps for them to shortlist one. And we were like, and we told them that, it is a torture, that why can you just not stand and pee? And that's where she suggested. And then the prototyping happened. We realized there are 2 kinds of female urination devices that exist, plastic and non-plastic. We thought plastic is a little far for us for now. And then we hired a product designer. We came up with this shape. We hold a design patent for it in India and launched it. Coming back to the issue is in public toilets, you're exposed to a lot of infections. And even if it's not an infection, I think the larger issue is that I think it's not right for us to expect anybody to use a tissue paper to clean the seat and then use it or to squat or to make chairs. And that is why we came up with the idea of PeeBuddy. And today you can use PeeBuddy in multiple situations, including medical, so arthritis or during pregnancy. But the journey wasn't as easy, because when I took it to the modern stores, some of the modern stores in early 2014, I was literally shown the door. And looks are not deceptive, they can't take me on face value, as you can see. So I told them, I have a product, using which women will be able to stand and urinate, and this is good for even medical purposes. But I think the people at the entry level couldn't really understand that it wasn't a joke. So we changed the strategy a little, and we took our second target audience first. So we took it to the best of gynecologists, urologists, orthopedics, last year working with good hospitals in India. And we were able to get about 40 of them who gave us written recommendations about PeeBuddy being useful to avoid infections that one might contract in a public toilet or even in a clean toilet, because UTI has nothing to do with clean or dirty. And it can also help them during any spinal injuries or during arthritis. And that's where few pharmacies gave us the first opportunity. And after that, obviously, there was no looking back. There were some other stores who joined. We also spoke to a few public event organizers. So we were able to convince Standard Chartered Bombay Marathon. We were able to convince TCS Bangalore Marathon. And they were kind to take PeeBuddy and give it to all females outside porta potties. So, and then again, and now we're getting inquiries from all over the world, though products do exist, but there are people who believe probably the shape's better or what we're trying to achieve with it is a little better. And then we don't only stop at this product per se. So we have these recommendations from doctors. We have a lot of vote of thanks from our female customers. We sold about 100,000 PeeBuddy last year itself. So I have a small video that I'd like to show you. This is a story that Reuters did.
Urinating in broad daylight is a last resort for men desperate to empty their bladders. Such an unpleasant solution isn't so palatable for women. And the problem is perhaps worst in India, which suffers from a shortage of clean toilets.
एक तो smell इतनी होती है.
The toilets stink badly, and it makes me very uncomfortable to use them as they're very unhygienic. Due to these factors, I have to tell myself that I will only pee once I get home.
Delhi entrepreneur Deep Bajaj says he's designed a solution, PeeBuddy, a waterproof cardboard funnel. The idea came from road trips with female passengers.
On every trip, you would see this as a very pressing problem, that while men could just have their beer or whatever they wanted to have on the way, females would always be restricted, and they would reject 8 out of 10 toilets where we'd stop.
The user should hold PeeBuddy between her legs under the flow area and tilt her hips slightly forward, ensuring the funnel is tilted downwards. After the urine is poured into the toilet, PeeBuddy is thrown away. Similar plastic devices exist in the West, but PeeBuddy is catching on in the Indian capital, where women's toilets are 10 times less common than men's and often in poor condition.
Now that I've used it, I've found it really user-friendly, and I'm a working woman and I have to use the public toilets a lot of times, and I have this fear of infection. So at that time, it's like a boon to me.
Dirty toilet seats are a breeding ground for bacteria. Development organisation WaterAid says diseases spread through dirty water and poor sanitation are the 5th biggest killer of women worldwide. PeeBuddy costs around 20 rupees, or 30 American cents per unit. Bajaj wants the government to subsidise the cost in rural areas.
So this was Reuters. Going forward, I think what we are looking at right now is, we are not here to satisfy any critiques who believe that this is against the Indian tradition, and there are people who've written to us about religion. I don't wish to offend anyone with the product. My intent is very simple. This is a product which comes to a female's rescue in tricky situations, and that's all that one needs to look at it when it comes to PeeBuddy. And that's the journey that we're willing to take forward. And anybody who wants to join us in this quest, please feel free to write to us. So then PeeBuddy started moving a little. It's still away from the scale at which we would want it to start moving, I think, because the awareness level isn't as much. And obviously with all these tech players who are getting funded left, right, and center, nobody wants to touch upon a product which is miles away from giving the same hockey stick overnight growth. But having said that, we'd continue the journey and wait for the awareness to spread. So when PeeBuddy we saw that PeeBuddy was taking care of a problem, what we realized was there's another problem. And the problem right now is that there are very few toilets. The ones that are there are not clean. And even if they coexist in the combination, there is no way when you're on the move you can get to know where they are and how they are. So we made another product, and this again is another good product which still doesn't make money. It's an app which helps females, or men also, though men don't generally use it, find the nearest toilet. And this we launched early this year. And the idea is that it lists all the toilets that are there in the vicinity. So all you need to do is, obviously if you want to buy PeeBuddy, you can buy it off there, but then find the nearest toilet. And it guides you where the nearest toilet is. So let's say if this is the toilet nearest to you, what is the distance, photographs, what facilities does it have, what are the reviews that people have to give, what other toilets exist in the area, and it even gives you the direction. So what we expect from people at large now is it's an Android app only for now, but we are requesting people at large to help us list as many toilets as possible. We are requesting petrol stations because it's one of their mandates to have a cleaner toilet, to put up all the toilets up there. We're requesting cafes and other corporates. But till then, any product like this will not move till the time the youth and all of us take it upon ourselves that when we are traveling, and if you're using any common toilet, if you can put it up there, it'll only help the person who's traveling after you. So this is the second thing that we recently launched, and there are multiple yardsticks on which you rate a toilet. We're trying to say that the facility owner should know that now it's up there. It's no more about an eye wash that you might have a fuel station somewhere off the location and nobody's coming to check it. So if we can take it upon ourselves, initiatives like this will make traveling a lot easier for women, and that's our objective. Whether it is with PeeBuddy or it is with Use Refuse, the toilet app, or with another product that we have. Now, Karan sir can help us make it more eco-friendly and sustainable. But till then, I'm just trying to offer quick fix solutions to whatever I can. This is another product, again, to empower women on the go. So if they find a dirty toilet, they can always use PeeBuddy. They can spot a toilet using Use Refuse, the toilet app. And then with these disposal bags, these are biodegradable as the manufacturer states, and scented. You can do discrete disposal of all your sanitary products, so whether it is sanitary pads, tampons, panty liners, PeeBuddy for that matter, and you can dispose of. The relevance of this is a little for the urban market right now, because when these sanitary products reach the landfills, and during monsoon and all, they just become balloons, they swell up. And other than that, also for rag pickers, because they're inquisitive, they open all the leftovers that reach these landfills. They open it and it becomes a health hazard. So that's where I Love Clean fits in. And then we have intimate wipes for her entire journey. So to cut the long story short, we as a team are committed to bring out products which help women, and all we expect from our critiques is a little breathing space, little time. We know that it might not suit your sensibilities with respect to the Indian tradition that they keep bringing in, but then we expect your support to take this to the next level. Thank you, guys.